News for San Antonio today, the only local news station with nonstop news.
It is what we do, and we love doing it on a Friday morning, man. Good morning. Nonstop news starts right now. We are the only TV station in town, commercial free, all the way up to the top of the hour.
That's right. We have you covered with everything, including a look at traffic with Joy and a look at your weather with Jeannette. Good morning, Jeannette.
Good morning. Why can't Mondays go by as fast as Fridays? It
Right.
seems like
From
we're
your
almost
lips to
done.
God's ears.
All right, let's talk weather. So yesterday, Thursday, the drought monitor updated, and you can see we could still use some rainfall around here, especially from Bexar County to Medina County, now including portions of Atascosa County and back towards Valverde County. Anywhere that you see red, that's extreme to exceptional drought conditions. Compared to last week, portions of the eastern zone seeing abnormally dry conditions returning. Thankfully, there is rain in the forecast. Unfortunately, the timing is not so great. We'll talk about that coming up. But this morning, it's rain-free. We're seeing a few clouds developing, temperatures in the 70s and 80s. It's very muggy out there, so I'm warning you. It's even muggier than it was yesterday morning. We're looking at a 20% rain chance here in San Antonio and the I-35 corridor this afternoon. 30% rain chance, though, across the east. There could be some spots that pick up some heavy downpours. Watching a tropical disturbance. It's going to be moving towards South Texas later this morning, and then it's going to impact our area on Saturday. We'll check out your weekend weather forecast coming up in under 10 minutes.
Well, we're starting to see a little bit more organization here in this crash just south of downtown that we've been tracking. It's on the connecting ramp from Highway 90 to I-35 northbound, and it's been a little bit hectic because it took a while before we saw some police units there, and now that they are there on scene, it's kind of helped mitigate traffic a little bit and alert people as they're approaching that there's something going on up here. It also helps that the sun is coming up a little bit. Let's get the latest from photojournalist David Mendoza, who's been watching all of this unfold live from your South Texas Ford dealer, Sky 4. Hey, David.
Hello and good morning. Well, it's a bit of a double-edged sword here. We have SAPD TxDOT on scene now guiding traffic. The bad news is that this on-ramp has been closed, so all traffic is being diverted to 35 South. You probably have to take Theo Avenue, do a turnaround, and then go ahead and sit in this traffic if you're headed 35 north for the moment. But like I said, double-edged sword, it is good news. It's no longer a danger to commuters with people passing over this white line here. They're getting it cleaned up. It might be here for the next 30 minutes or so, or at least that's my estimate. I'll keep you updated, let you know how this progresses. Back to you.
David, thank you for keeping on top of it. So yeah, definitely safer. We like that. But this is going to be probably a little bit more annoying now that people are going to have to do that turnaround if they're trying to get onto I-35. And already we know this is a busy spot. A lot of people going from 90 to I-35 this time of the morning. And it doesn't help that up I-35, a little bit farther up the road there near South Alamo Street, we have a complete construction closure. There's now a 10-minute delay behind that. So even once you get from Highway 90 to I-35 north and you do the turnaround in order to do so, unfortunately, you're just going to be sitting in some more traffic. So bit of a mess downtown. We'll keep watching it for you. Rest of San Antonio looking pretty good. That's the latest with your on-time traffic.
All right. Thank you, Joy. Happening this morning, several organizations will be in San Antonio court to try to stop the new Texas law requiring the 10 Commandments in classrooms. Those organizations include the ACLU and Americans United for Separation of Church and State will be there. They say the law violates the First Amendment. Supporters of the law say Christianity teachings are important to American history. The law is set to go into effect on September 1st.
Also this morning, state Democrats and Hill Country flood survivors are holding a press conference to address Governor Abbott's flood response. The press conference is scheduled for 9:30 this morning over Zoom and will include flood survivors as well as Texas state representatives. We'll have the very latest throughout the day right here on News 4 and online at news4sa.com. Developing right now, more than 1,000 people killed on Texas roads last year because of alcohol-related crashes. And the numbers are crazy. That equals about 3 lives lost every single day here in the state of Texas.
And because of that, TxDOT is launching its end of summer campaign, Drive Sober, No Regrets. And News 4 San Antonio's Tony Davis joins us live now with those details. Good morning, Tony.
Good morning. With those very alarming statistics in mind, TxDOT hopes that this campaign highlights the true consequences of impaired driving and what those drivers could actually face in court. Now, in last summer alone, nearly 280 people were killed and almost 600 were seriously injured in DUI crashes on Texas roads. Over last year's Labor Day weekend, there were about 327 alcohol-related traffic crashes. Those caused 10 people to lose their lives and left 36 with serious injuries. Law enforcement is also taking steps to keep roads safe. Starting now through Labor Day on September 1st, officers and Bexar County deputies will be on high alert for drunk drivers. The goal is to reduce DUI crashes, injuries, and fatalities, not just in San Antonio, but all across the state.
Arrange to take a rideshare, a taxi, public transportation, or you can even stay where you are until you sober up enough to drive. If you do take the chance to drink and drive, area law enforcement will find you and we will arrest you.
Sheriff Salazar warns drivers who get behind the wheel drunk will face thousands of dollars in lost wages, possible loss of a job, court fees, fines, and possible civil litigation. Now, Salazar also warns that, drunk driving is a choice and it is 100% preventable. So when you do choose to get behind the wheel drunk, not only are you putting yourself at risk, you're also putting passengers and everyone else on the roads at risk. Reporting live, I'm Tawny Davis. Back to you.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Derek Coles, guilty of the lesser-included offense of recklessly causing injury to a child in count 1, signed by.
Local man found guilty for serious bodily injury to a child, which led to the death of that little boy's 12-year-old son. That's the verdict on Derek Coles, who, according to a jury, cost his own son Danilo his life. Coles will be sentenced in October. He's facing 99 years in prison. The latest now in the case of a San Antonio police officer accused of driving drunk. The Bexar County Sheriff's Office says that David McCall had a blood alcohol concentration near 3 times the legal limit. McCall turned himself in. That crash happened last week in Alamo Ranch while McCall was off duty.
Tensions are running high in Helotes, where neighbors say a massive housing development and a wastewater plant could threaten the region's water supply.
To move to state forest and use that water?
The proposed Guajolote Ranch project of Lennar Corporation would create nearly 3,000 homes close to Gray Forest. The plan includes a wastewater treatment plant, which is causing backlash from residents. We're told nearly 1 million gallons of sewage would be released a day into the Helotes Creek watershed, which feeds into the Edwards Aquifer, the main source of drinking water for more than 1.7 million people.
So when you think about Lennar asking for a permit to dump 1 million gallons of sewer effluent a day, where's that going to go? Right down to our groundwater. So we're not only worried about the wells of the people in this area who depend on water wells for their water, but all that water is going downstream to the Edwards Aquifer.
Bexar County Commissioner Grant Moody, who oversees Precinct 3, says the developer needs to answer questions and address concerns because they are losing the public's trust.
In the Allen at the Live Desk, we are taking a live look out of D.C., where earlier this week, President Trump announced his plan to place D.C. under direct federal control and deploy the National Guard to crack down on crime. This morning, we now know Washington, D.C.'s police chief signed an executive order allowing officers to share information with ICE. The measure only applies to people not in custody. Federal agents still aren't allowed to question people police are detaining, and officers aren't permitted to look through databases for immigration status. The order is intended to help officers provide information during traffic stops and assist federal agents in transporting detainees. Still, it's a significant change in policy for a town that once declared itself a sanctuary city. D.C.'s mayor has not yet commented on the matter, but President Donald Trump says he'd like to see more cities follow suit. That is the latest from the Live Desk.
All right, Emma, thank you. Love this story right here. This is the very definition of not all heroes wear capes. That big guy right there does. A woman and her horse named Phoenix helped search for victims in Kerrville and Leander during the flooding. The mission, though, ended up causing a life-threatening situation with that horse.
There was debris buried in the quicksand, and he had cut his leg on it on his way out. He had severed an artery, a tendon. His hock joint became septic, which is why his injuries were life-threatening, and he pulled muscles and had a possible hairline fracture on his cannon bone.
I said I loved it. I don't obviously love those details, but surgery was not an option for Phoenix. But thankfully, a specialized hyperbaric chamber helped this guy get back on his feet. He is healed. He is ready to go. And the hope is that Phoenix will be able to continue taking part in search and rescue groups around the state of Texas.
Now your certified most accurate 4-zone weather with meteorologist Jeannette.
Well, it's been hot, but I guess you're still supposed to be careful when headed into the Guadalupe River because of all of the debris and stuff in there.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yes, and I would say maybe discourage to being tomorrow, especially early in the day, just because there's the chance for thunderstorms, and you don't want to be out tubing with thunderstorms. But Sunday looks a lot better for tubing and all of that. Let's go to the maps because I am watching that tropical disturbance that is approaching South Texas, and this is the weather maker that will bring rain to parts of our area later today, especially tomorrow. Still looking at a 50% chance of tropical development. The window of opportunity for this to develop is very small. As you can see, it is inching closer to northeastern Mexico, South Texas. That is the development zone. At the very least, it'll be a short-lived tropical depression. Shower and thunderstorm activity with this is increasing. It continues, and you can see the rain that's ahead of the center of this. There's still not a well-defined low-level center of circulation. There goes the rainfall. Some isolated activity down towards Raymondville and Brownsville. I want to point out that from South Padre back towards Brownsville along the Rio Grande there's a flood watch. There's a potential for localized flash flooding there today. Now, as I track this, the center will likely get closer to South Texas, make landfall anywhere from northeast Mexico to deep South Texas later today. Ahead of that, though, I do anticipate some isolated showers and storms coming into the eastern zone and into the I-35 corridor, arriving here in San Antonio this afternoon. Slight rain chance between 3 and 7 p.m. Then late tonight through tomorrow morning after midnight through at least midday tomorrow, scattered showers and thunderstorms. Tomorrow in the afternoon, rain chance does decrease. So here are the impacts from this for our area. Isolated rain chance this afternoon, scattered showers and storms tomorrow early in the day. While some areas will be dry, those spots that are lucky enough to see rain could end up with about 1 to 3 plus inches of rainfall. Some of the stronger storms could produce gusts over 40 miles an hour, along with frequent cloud to ground lightning. 50% rain chance tomorrow early, 20% in the afternoon. As that storm system pulls away, we'll have the opportunity to dry out later tomorrow. And then Sunday, mostly sunny skies early with highs climbing back to the upper 90s. Tomorrow's highs will be in the lower 90s, so some relief from the heat as well. Stay ahead of the storm by downloading our 4-zone weather app so you'll be able to track radar and the rain and thunderstorms. What does this mean for the coast for those of you heading to the beaches this weekend? South Padre, a 70% rain chance today. Drier, though, over the weekend, just a few clouds tomorrow. And then in Port Aransas tomorrow, a 30% rain chance, drier on Sunday. Here's the extended forecast, 30% rain chance next week. So after a couple dry days, Sunday and Monday, more opportunities for rain next week. And by then, high temperatures below the triple digits. Here's the extended forecast for the other 3 zones. One more, the extended for the eastern zone. There it is right there.
All right, we've got a new issue here on the west side of San Antonio. This is going to be the eastbound lanes of Highway 90 at Montgomery, so outside Loop 1604, causing about a 20-minute delay, about a 6-mile backup. It's also just contributing to a backup that we already had there. Downtown, that's where we had those construction closures in the northbound lanes of I-35 at South Alamo Street. We also had a wreck there on the connecting ramp from 90 to I-35. It's about a 10-minute delay as you approach the construction closure. For the latest on what's happening, let's check in now with photojournalist David Mendoza, live from your South Texas Ford dealer, Sky 4.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, still over 35 and 90 looking at this on-ramp closure because of this accident that happened around 6 o'clock this morning. It's still closed. They got some tow trucks there. One truck is up on a tow truck, so they are getting it cleaned up at the moment. But look, check out 35 North. 35 North is really starting to back up right now, as well as the eastbound lanes of Highway 90. So we're looking at a lot of traffic in the area. This is the main body of traffic throughout the city. That being said, drive safe. Have a great Friday. Back to you.
All right, have a wonderful Friday, David. Thank you. We appreciate it. Don't forget about those construction closures through the weekend, including here along Loop 410 and I-35 on the northeast side and along I-10 and Loop 1604 on the northwest side. Those are both starting tonight. That's the latest with your on-time traffic.
In the Allen at the live desk, some devastating news out of Austin. An overnight break-in at an animal shelter left one dog dead and 5 others injured. Police say the man in green seen on surveillance video broke in by damaging the keypad early Thursday morning. Officials say the man can be seen opening kennels at Austin Pets Alive, letting dogs loose, which led to multiple fights between the animals before staff could intervene. The suspect was spotted outside with 2 of the dogs, but they've since been found. Austin Pets Alive says all missing dogs are now back at the shelter, and staff are questioning why overnight security wasn't alerted sooner. 6 dogs needed care, and 1 named Wade died from his injuries. The suspect has not been identified, and no arrests have been made. That is the latest from the live desk.
What are you doing this weekend?
I don't know. It's a great question. It is National Relaxation Day, so if you like to do nothing, today's the day to do it.
And Powerball. Is that what?
How much is
565 million.
Yes. Do you play?
No. But I'm going to. I'm going to buy a ticket this weekend.
Sure you are. Yes.
I am, just for this.
Oh, man. If you win and you never play, there are people out there that just will be like, ah.
Have a great weekend.